Samida. Om Shanti. Peace to you. Peace to me. Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'd like to talk about Matrix living. The Matrix. Everybody's seen the film? I hope you've seen the film. If not, check it out. Very interesting film. It talks about human beings being batteries and not moving. They're in little pods. And listening to some of the reports coming back from Davos, that's exactly where humanity is heading if we don't wake up and become more natural, more connecting with ourselves, human decency, dignity, respect, integrity for all, everybody, not talking of people like they're collateral that can be used and abused, or useless eaters, another expression that I find particularly not nice, or cannon fodder. There's also another thing that came out of Davos, cannon fodder, talking about the general population as cannon fodder. No, every human being is precious. You, myself, everybody. If you think about how much it would cost to create you, well, actually it's impossible, so therefore that makes you priceless. Every single human being, in fact every living entity, is priceless. You're not actually at the position of being the creator. So living in the Matrix is sucking you into this false, illusory world where you're too much pride in yourself. It's good to have an element of self-respect, yes, obviously, but I'm really proud of myself. I'm a multi-billionaire and I've done this, that, the other. No, too much pride, too much ego. Ego is a very important aspect of your life. Ego helps you to drive yourself into certain positions. If you didn't have your ego, you wouldn't be pushing yourself forward. But to think that that is you, your ego, no, because you're ground in with competition right from a very, very early age. I mean, how many people grew up with musical chairs where there was always one chair less than the amount of people, or children I should say, dancing around the chairs? So therefore you're always looking at competing with your fellow human being, and that is done before the age of 7. So therefore you've got competition ground into the subconscious, ground in. Oh, you know, they're competing with me, they're competing with me. That's what the Matrix living is really all about. It's about competition, scarcity. We live in abundance and it's all about scarcity, and there's not enough stuff here. Yes, there's plenty. Nature provides so much for us, but the ego really does attach to Matrix living if you allow it. So we get used, well, there's techniques used called gaslighting to make you feel like, are you feeling all right? Are you okay? Are you a little bit mad? To make you feel on the back foot, out of balance, not quite right. I think, well, maybe my thought, maybe it's me. Maybe I've completely misread all of this and not seeing the bigger picture, the true picture. And that's really been a thread through my life. People are you okay? And then realizing that when I actually speak to an intelligent person, or human being I should say, they go, well, yeah, I've never thought of it that way, but that's a really interesting point. And therefore you start a discussion. Remember them? A discussion and a debate, a proper debate. Do you remember them? Proper debates about facts. Do you remember them? When we lived in a world that had truths in it? Well, that's really slipping away very, very rapidly. Same with common sense. Every Qigong class that I teach is really talking about the body, and we're talking about common sense. And I feel that everybody's in agreement with our society now. It's just slipping over the hill. There it goes, common sense over the hill. We need to come back into ourselves. How many people are patronizing now to you? Patronizing and sanctimonious, self-righteous. They're in the Matrix. Well, I've done it. Why can't you do it? You can do this. What's the matter with you? It's sanctimonious and people wagging their fingers. This is how you should live. This is how you should live. It's like the current climate crisis. There's an enormous change in climate, and it comes in cycles, and we're just coming out of a warming period into a cooling period. We might have a modern day minimum, they don't know, but it might be possible that we're going into a mini ice age. That looks what it looks like. And it really does look like there's not as much carbon dioxide on the planet as there was. So what's that? Is that the matrix coming in on us and trying to tax us more? This is where this free money is going to be coming from. This is the next debate, because everybody agrees that the banking system is broken. And since taking the dollar, the international, the world currency off the gold standard in 1971 to fund the Vietnam War so that they could print fiat currency, i.e. print it out of thin air, it's got no value to it. Yes, that was complete insanity. But now there's new talk of saying, well, we should allow central banks just to print themselves out of debt for each country without any proper. If you want to keep the markets, and I'm not an advocate of either way, to tell you the truth, I'll just sit in the middle and look at it and think, whoa. But if you want to advocate printing money from the Treasury, which I would tend to agree with, you need to have an economic plan, and that money needs to be, well, have a value to it, i.e. the wealth of the country needs to be considered when printing that money. Otherwise you get something like Argentina with hyperinflation, or the Weimar Republic, where you're buying a loaf of bread with a barrow full load of money. You've got to think about this stuff, really think about it. It's all dragging you into the matrix and this new society where we put money in, we put our energy in, and then we take the credits out. Who's in control of those credits, and who decides how much energy you put in and how much energy you put out? And therefore that's why everything is coming into a smart grid, the matrix, a smart grid. Everything from your doors to your lights, your fridge, your mobile phones, everything's going to have a little chip in it, so that it all connects to each other, so that you can be monitored, tracked, traced and watched. Every aspect of your life will have full spectrum dominance on it. Do you think that's natural? Do you think that's natural that you're being viewed 24/7? And that's what the 5G network is all about. It can't be done at the moment, but once you put the 5G network in, it's radiation. It's a weapons technology radiation that can beam through walls and see everything that's going on in a house. So this is as we go more and more into the matrix, and it's absolutely incredible. We can grow bigger than this. We can start to become human beings again. We can start to give people blessings. Oh, what a beautiful smile you have. Thank you for smiling with me. Made me feel you brightened my day. Smiling is part of the Ilchy-Lee's brain education system. It's brain refreshing. So when you smile, you refresh your brain. So you can look at this information, not get upset, not get angry, but take responsibility for it. Take responsibility for your life. I've already put a video up talking about responsibility. It's your ability to respond. So responding to this information, but look into it. You've got to look into it. Bringing people together is a good thing. Starting your communities again. Just getting people to rise up. Everybody's so downtrodden and depressed and upset. They're not really showing their full value. There's little inklings now of people who are starting to do this, and it's beautiful to see. Beautiful to see somebody standing up and going, hang on a minute, I've had enough of this, I'm not putting up with this anymore. And then finding a peaceful solution and moving away from the craziness that's going on in the matrix. And it is just the matrix. In the Indus Valley they called it the Maya, or the illusion. Tao, same thing, is the illusion of the world, the illusory world that we get sucked into with our emotions, our feelings, our thoughts, our perceptions. Our perceptions have been stolen. David Icke's written a book called Deception, and it is an enormous deception that we have, our perceptions of life and what it really is. Don't bring people down. If you start to bring people down, you start to compete with them, you're starting to build the matrix up around them. It's terrible that we're all doing that, all fighting with each other, infighting, especially in this, well, there's a perceived truth movement, and they're all infighting, saying, well, no, my information's better than yours, blah, blah, blah. No, it doesn't matter. As long as you perceive or you see what's being encircled around you, then we can start to move away from it, start to connect with ourselves, connect with our hearts. Really important, because people get lost in it. And I'm seeing now people in the practice that I teach, Qigong, starting to say, well, no, I didn't attach to that this time. Didn't attach to it. And do you know what? I feel really good today. Brilliant! Good for you! That's what I want to see. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear more people saying, no, I'm not putting up with this. You know, I can look after myself. Of course you can. You're an amazing, intuitive, sensitive being that's been ground down and pushed down into the dirt in many different ways. And now it's time to be the lily. Grow in that dirty pond. Grow up and blossom like a proper human being. We get desensitized and overstimulated in this matrix. 24/7 information going in. 24/7 information going in. People texting on their phones when they're driving along. Texting. So, what's the answer? Let your emotions be your guide. Not driving you, but be your guide. I.e., if you feel emotional about something, feel it. Feel that emotion, but own it. Don't let it come bursting out in some fit of rage or passion. Let your emotions guide you through this. Have empathy and compassion. Let that grow. It's like Wim Hof. Wim Hof said about vegetarianism, people aren't being sensitive enough to actually realise what an animal goes through from the farm to the plate, and they still eat them. You're not really focusing on what really is happening. So you just accept this piece of slab of meat on your plate. Sensitize, be sensitive, focus on yourself, grow your heart, let yourself grow and be a human being, not a human doing. And watch the matrix, just watch it. You can observe it, you don't have to get involved with it, and you can see the craziness, and eventually there'll be enough people to make it just collapse and go away. And we can form a society ourselves. We have the intelligence. We've been on this planet for how many thousands of years? I don't know. Even that has got sketchiness about it. So human beings are intuitive, and we can get through this and move away from the matrix and start to lighten ourselves up, raise our vibrations. That's what it's all about. Get your vibration up, and you'll see with Tao eyes, you'll see what this matrix really is, and actually that there's nothing to fear whatsoever. You're an eternal spiritual being having a human experience, and may that experience be a good one. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Sarang Hamnida.